to have our principal Dr. A.V. Sawant sir. We are privileged to have both of you for this valedictory function. First of all, I take this opportunity to reflect the academic journey of today's guest of honor at this valedictory function. Before it, let me say about the structure of this valedictory function. After the introduction of today's guest of honor, we have two feedbacks. So Dr. P.Y. Burute and Ms. Reshmi Sutakumar, be ready for it. Now, let me introduce today's guest of honor. So, Dr. Atul Salunke sir, let me introduce. He is the awardee of Indira Gandhi National Award at the auspicious hands of Honorable President of India in 2012 and 2013. And he has also received Mother Teresa Gold Medal Award. He is also Best NSS Program Officer of University of Mumbai. Also received Best District Coordinator of the University of Mumbai and many more awards to his credit. He has also 16 indexed peer-reviewed research journals in various national and international reputation. He has also completed his MRP on self-help groups, a keystone of microfinance in Roha Taluka, women empowerment and social security. He has large extension work and community service activities like National Integration Camp, Save Girl Child Program, organize medical camps, water purification programs, etc. He has successfully handled membership of professional bodies. He is the chairman of Consumer Forum, Janajagruti Roha, member of Indian Economic Association, and so on. He has also handled administrative responsibilities at university in various capacities like NSS program coordinator, University of Mumbai, member of advisory committee of lifelong learning, and also worked on university examination related committees. He has also delivered his guest lectures at HRDC, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad. So it's really a matter of privilege to have him for this auspicious occasion of valedictory function. Now, may I request two participants to throw light upon today's e-conference. First of all, I would like to request Mr. P.Y. Burute sir to express his views. Dr. P.Y. Burute sir, please. After two feedbacks, we have the guest of honor will address his valedictory speech, and afterwards we have Dr. Anil Sawant sir's speech. Yes, yes, please.
Dr. Prakash Burute sir, you are requested please to unmute yourself. Dr. Prakash Burute. Dr. Prakash, are you online?
We'll move. I think
Dr. Salunke, I request you to
hello. Prakash Burute sir.
Next.
Yes.
Hello.
Dr. Prakash sir. Okay. You can continue, Dr. Prakash.
सर आज आपल्या कॉलेजमध्ये जी नॅशनल ई कॉन्फरन्स आयोजित केली त्या संदर्भामध्ये मी थोडं बोलू इच्छितो. खरं तर आजचा या ई कॉन्फरन्स साठीचा जो विषय आपण निवडलेला आहे तो विषय अतिशय महत्वाचा आणि सध्याच्या परिस्थितीला अनुसरून सर्वांनी गांभीर्याने घेण्याचा विषय आहे. या विषयाची निवड केल्याबद्दल आपल्या महाविद्यालयाचे प्राचार्य आदरणीय सावंत सर आणि आपले या कॉन्फरन्सचे जी टीम आहे पूर्ण त्या टीमला मी धन्यवाद देतो. त्यामध्ये आमचे मित्र आनंद सावंत सर, युवराजवीर सर आणि जे इतर कन्व्हेनर आहेत त्या सर्वांना. मी काही महत्त्वाच्या गोष्टी या संदर्भामध्ये हायलाइट करू इच्छितो, की त्यामध्ये आम्हाला ज्या गोष्टी सर्वात महत्त्वाच्या वाटल्या, त्यामध्ये प्रामुख्याने आपण या विषयाची निवड केलेली आहे. तो विषय आहे तो त्या विषयाला अनुसरून आपण इतर जे विषय दिलेले आहेत ते सुद्धा अतिशय महत्त्वाचे आहेत. म्हणजे कोणत्याही फील्डमधला जो रिसर्चर असेल किंवा टीचर असतील, ते सहजासहजी याच्यामध्ये आपले विषय, आपला जो मुद्दा आहे तो याच्यामध्ये प्रखरतेने मांडू शकतील. त्यासाठी आपण खूप वाईड स्कोप यामध्ये आपण ठेवलेला होता. त्याबरोबरच आजचे जे रिसोर्स पर्सन जे आपण या ठिकाणी निवडलेले होते, ते अतिशय उत्तम रीतीने या रिसोर्स पर्सननी आपली मांडणी केलेली आहे. प्रथम सत्रामध्ये त्या मॅडमने तर अतिशय उत्तम पद्धतीने मांडणी केलेली आहे. त्याबरोबरच कांबळे सर जे शिवाजी विद्यापीठ कोल्हापूरमधले होते, ते विशेषतः एन्व्हायरमेंटचेच आहेत, इकॉनॉमिक्सचे आहेत, परंतु त्यांचं स्पेशलायझेशन एन्व्हायरमेंट म्हणून सुद्धा आहे. त्यांनीही अतिशय उत्तम पद्धतीनं काही गोष्टी ज्या त्यांनी मांडल्या, की त्या आम्हाला खरंच माहीत नव्हत्या, त्या गोष्टी आम्हालाही समजल्या. त्याबरोबर इतर जे रिसर्च पर्सन होते त्यांनीही उत्तम रीतीने मांडणी केलेली आहे. यामध्ये आणखी 1-2 गोष्टी मला अतिशय महत्त्वाच्या वाटतात, की त्यामध्ये की सुरुवातीपासून आतापर्यंत जर मी पाहिलं तर मला 120च्या खाली पार्टिसिपंट्स आलेले दिसले नाहीयेत. म्हणजे अतिशय चांगल्या पद्धतीने सर्वांचा रिस्पॉन्स आपल्या या कॉन्फरन्सला लाभलेला आहे आणि हेच आपल्या या कॉन्फरन्सचं यश आहे असं मला या ठिकाणी नमूद करावंसं वाटतं. आपल्या या नियोजनामध्ये आणखी एक महत्त्वाचा जो घटक मला भावला तो म्हणजे की आपल्या सुरुवातीपासून आतापर्यंत आपलं जे काही निवेदन असेल, सूत्रसंचालन असेल किंवा जे काही टेक्निकल सपोर्ट करणारी टीम असेल, त्यांनी कुठेही कसलीही अडचण न येता संपूर्ण आपली कॉन्फरन्स संपेपर्यंत अतिशय उत्तम पद्धतीने ह्या कॉन्फरन्सचं नियोजन आपण केलेलं आहे. यातच आपलं सक्सेस आहे असं मला वाटतं. मला बोलण्याची संधी दिली त्याबद्दल मी आपल्या सर्वांना धन्यवाद देतो. थँक्यू सर.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor. May I now request Ms. Reshmi Sudha Kumar to express her views on today's e-conference.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I found all the sessions informative and interesting, and I would like to express my heartfelt congratulations to the principal and all the members.
Hello, Reshmi ma'am.
Yes.
Please put on your video, please.
Okay, yes, sir.
You are not visible. You are not visible. Yeah.
Yeah, is it fine, sir?
Yes. Yes.
I would like to I would like to express heartfelt congratulations to principal and all the members of the organizing committee for holding this one-day national conference. So I found it very interesting. Thank you for this valuable information and making us realize that how alarming this stage is for protecting our earth. So thank you everyone for this. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for your ideas. Now, may I request Dr. Atul Salunke, sir, to express his views on this valedictory speech. Over to Dr. Atul Salunke, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. Thank you for giving the opportunity to me. I express my sincere thanks, and I would like to express heartfelt congratulations to Principal Dr. Anil Sawant, sir. He is my good friend, but as well as he is the very good economist, and he have the social concerns, and therefore he can select the topic, which is the very relevant to today's scenario. The climate change, it is affect for each and everyone. So therefore, I congratulate to Board of Director of Kharedhare College, Guhagar, as well as organizing committee, the member of organizing committee, especially Dr. Kamble sir, Dr. Y.R. Patil sir, Kokak sir. We are very well organized such type of national level workshop. And already Prakash Bhulte point out that the participation is a very intellectual because they are attending these sessions for a whole day and not less than 120. It is a really with great success indications of this conference. And therefore, I give the congratulations to IQAC coordinator, Dr. J.B. Sanap sir. Because when all the team members work together, then we can get the output for such type of conferences. So far as when I talk about the topic, the selection of topic, that is one of the important aspects. When we can call for international level or national level research paper, so selection of the topic is most important. And so socio-economics and ecological impact, the climate change with the reference to Indian subcontinent. So when we can use of subcontinent, India is an important part, playing the important role in changing the climate. We are very fortunate that we cannot give the more weightage for the point of view, we can say, for the how we can control. And therefore, in brochure also, you can mention one line that is most important line, public awareness. When we can see for that public awareness, it is come from the education. So today, some of the point can be light on some of the points. We'll relate it with that, the education point of view. Why the public awareness through the this climate education is one of the essential tools, because education is a play very important role. Without the education, we can't give the information to the public. We cannot be concentrate on such type of issues. So as a intellectual personalities, we are playing very important. We are the educator. We are the mentor. So our role is more important to how we can reach to the downstream also, and how we can give the education to them. So the most hazardous event of the present century is the rapid degradation of environmental quality. So when we can talk about the quality, the exposure of this qualifying the environment can change. It is necessary for that population explosion create the situation. Like more people needing more food, more energy, and more things for the daily use, such as housing, clothing, automobiles. As a result, we use more and more water resource, fertilizers, pesticides, sophisticated machineries for production, and turn to increase the level of pollution. It is not related with one pollution. That is related with water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution. Beside this, the distribution, the balance is between the holistic and biotic component of the ecosystem. So when we can effect on biotic and one of the important biotic degradations, it is one of the factors. So all these conditions cause of diseases and increase the death of flora and fauna. Similarly, in discriminations to use of renewable and non-renewable water sources. So when we can talk of renewable and non-renewable physical resources lead to several problems. So how we come out from, how we can control. So we need for that, because the lack of environment awareness about the presentations and conservations of environment effectively, we can see about that added the fuel to fire. This is one of the aspects to increase the imbalancing in the ecosystem. So therefore, the rapid degradations will be increases, and generally, all of the factors are greatly responsible for this environmental quality degradations at grassroots level also and higher level also. So when we can talk about the rich people, they are differently, ecosystem can be imbalancing. Middle class also working in a different effects, and they also the contributing imbalancing, and poor people also affect for that, the imbalancing. So for the quality of environment will not only from the one factor can be responsible. Each and every, the mankind will be responsible for that. So Farhad, if this similar situation continue in the near future, so what happening? The entering the human civilization, we face the disaster situation in various spheres. We can see somewhere will be more rapidly for flood, somewhere will be drought. So this situation can be created of, this is one of the juncture for the causes of environment. So therefore, we are create the awareness, how the environment responsible for all these disasters. So the people toward the environment protection, we can give the education through the college, through the schools, through the different level of education platforms where will be available for us. We can give the some important topic to them. So why we can see about the environment awareness education in various domain? Because the we can see for that the environment education also comprise the free domains information regarding the various aspect. So we can give the information to the people in different aspect also. So we can focus on environment awareness education. This is one point. Why this is object? I'm talking about that. According to Valedictory Charter in 1975, the global environment education is a developed for world population aware of concern about the environment. So it is association with the charter has suggestion the following 6 objectives. So what are the 6 objectives teaching environment education? So number 1 is awareness. Why the awareness? To create an overall understanding of the impact and effect of behavior and lifestyle of the both local and global environment. And this is not related with the short term, this is related with the long term also. Number 2, knowledge. How can help by knowledge? To help individual and social group to acquire the basic understanding of the total environment and associate with their problems. Number 3, attitude. How attitude can be given the support for control the environment degradation, to help the individual and social group acquire social values, strong feeling with nature, concern with the environment, and motivation to activity or actively participate in the protection are for importance. Number 4 is skill. What type of skill we require? In NSS, you can see for that. We can work for plantation. We can work for CCT. We can work for social awareness about plastics, hazardous. We can aware of the people for that water pollution. This type of skills we can require, how we can reach to the people, how we can react to the people, or how we can give the motivation to participate in the social activity. So skill to help individual as well as social group to acquire the knowledge and skill for survival. Number 5, evaluation of ability. When we can talk about the education, awareness about the education to help the individual and social group to evaluate the environmental measures. Educational programs in the terms of ecological, political, economical, socially, ethically, and educators factors. This type of ability, when we can develop and evaluation from that all oneself, it is one of the 5th, one of the challenge or one of the tool we have through the education. And last, the participation to help the individual and social group to develop the sense of responsibility, energy regarding the environmental problem to ensure that how we can solve this climate change and how we'll be survive in changing in scenario. So we are most important. There is the 2 types of education. Number 1, formal education, and second is informal education. So both way, we give the awareness about the environment to the society. When we, under our premises, we give the different methodology for giving the teacher can concern about the teaching strategy to direct observation or support to this type of education to the student. Any more, maybe audio visual, maybe the ICT technique we can use for that. The social science or natural science, how every concerned subject we can elaborate in the such way that they can give the awareness about the environment. So this is one of the formal education. In higher education, we are giving the some of the papers, environmental studies, foundation course will be concentrate on the topic of climate change. So when we can play the role as a formal educator or informal situation, we can play the important role for environment. That is one of the aspects. So NSS will be playing the very important role in the whole year, or volunteers can play the very important role. Program officers also play the very important role to maintain the ecosystem. So one of the, just I give the one example and finish my today's speech. Objectives of water management. That is when we can talk about the watershed. So watershed or catchment area is a big phenomena, but just I could talk the affordable for NSS student. They have worked for that for sustainability also. So objectives of watershed management. What is the important? What is the objectives? Why this is related to our survival? Number one, production of food, fodder, and fuel. When we can control, we can manage the water shed, so we can get easily food, fodder, and fuel. Number two, we can control the pollution. Number three, over exploitation of resources should be minimized. Next, water storage, flood control, checking of disseminations. Next, wildlife preservation. Next, erosions of control and prevention of soil, degradations and conservation of soil and water. Next, employment generation through the industry development, dairy, fishery. This type of production can be increased through the water management. Next, recharging of the groundwater to provide the regular water or supply for consumptions and industry as well as the irrigation, because we need the water not only for drinking or safe drinking water, but it is required for industry also. It is required for the irrigations also. So we give them more importance for water management. So then we can talk about the awareness about the environment. This is one of the tools. So education point of view, when we can talk about that, I've given the best of NSS 1. Then recyclations of the facilities. When we can talk about the water management, ultimately we give the alternative sources of conservation. So when we can give the alternative source of conservation or management, then we can get the fruitful result. So what is the goal of water management? Number one is importance and restoration of soil quality, and thus rising the productivity rate. When we can talk about the productivity, naturally we can talk about the reduce the soil erosion and fertility of that land can be increased. So this is one. Number two, supply and securing the clean and sufficient drinking water for the population. Number three, improvement of infrastructure of the storage, transport, and reaching to agriculture marketing. This is one of the one cycle when we can talk about the ecosystem, when we can talk about the water conservation. Only one topic I can focus now, because the NSS student can play the important role in watershed management. So this is one. Manage the watershed for beneficiary of development of activity like domestic water, supply for irrigation, hydropower system, generation of the hydroelectricity. These are the one of the component for when we can talk about watershed management, when we can give the awareness how we can water can be stored and what type of utilization of this water for our survival. So this is minimize the risk of flood, minimize the risk of drought, minimize the landslides. This is one of the goal for water management, to develop the rural area in the region with the clear plan for improving the economical developed region. When we can talk about this type of that, so when we can talk about the water management, what types of relations is there? Intensive afforestation, the minimize the forestations, and that will be the happening. So when we can talk about this type of situation, so we give the more concentration on land consuveness. For that is, we have the agroforestry, we have the social forestry. We can concentrate this type of agroforestry and social forestry. When we can talk about the water management, ultimately we can develop the agroforestry and social forestry. So may I request to all intellectual personalities, when we are the one of the educator, we are the mentor. When we can talk about with the mentee, you give the support to participate in NSS activity or related social activity. Sometimes we cannot be given more weightage this social types of activity. We more focus only the academically, but it is not good for our survival. When we can talk about survival for each and everyone, then we can support to the NSS, we can support the social activities, though NGOs or some of the platform can play the important role. So our role is most important to support. You can convince to your student or stakeholder to participate in such activity, and you also give the suggestions to the program officers what type of activity will be needed for control this imbalancing in ecosystem. So any topic, I'm not forced for that only water management. This is one of the example which I will be shared with you. Once again, I give the sincere thanks to Dr. Anil Sawant and committee, organizing committee, to invite me for this very intellectual and sensible topic and organized by national level. So really, it is my pleasure to with you all intellectual persons to talk with for this environmental aspect. It is my really humble request to you. Please concentrate each and everyone. Once again, thanks, Sawant sir, giving me the opportunity and invite to me. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now may I request Dr. A.V. Sawant sir to enkindle your thoughts about today's e-conference.
आज गुहागर एज्युकेशन सोसायटीच्या खरेडेरे भोसले महाविद्यालयाच्या वतीनं सामाजिक, आर्थिक आणि पर्यावरणीय वातावरणातील असणाऱ्या बदलांचे परिणाम भारतीय उपखंडावर कशा पद्धतीने होतात आणि त्याचबरोबर मानवी जीवनाचं पुढचं भवितव्य अशा प्रकारे अडचणीचं ठरू शकतं, याच्याविषयी अनेक तज्ञांनी आज उहापोह केलेला आहे. वास्तविकता या असणाऱ्या परिषदेमध्ये सहभागी झालेल्या सर्वच माझ्या प्राध्यापक मित्रांचं आणि संशोधकांचं, जे आम्ही रिसोर्स पर्सन्स बोलवले होते, त्यांनी निश्चितपणे समाधान केलं असेल, आपल्या समोर चित्र स्पष्ट केलं असेल. आता हा शेवटचा व्हॅलिडिटरीचा कार्यक्रम आणि या कार्यक्रमानिमित्त उपस्थित असलेले आमचे मार्गदर्शक, माझे स्वतःचे गुरुबंधू, सन्माननीय प्राचार्य डॉक्टर अतुलजी साळुंके सर, सी.डी. देशमुख महाविद्यालय रोहा. वास्तविकता साळुंके सरांच्या बोटालाच धरून मी खरं विद्यापीठाच्या अनेक कमिट्यांच्या वरती गेलो आणि त्यामुळं त्यांच्या अनुभवाचा, त्यांच्या असणाऱ्या ज्ञानाचा मला निश्चितपणे फायदा झालेला आहे. आणि सरांनी आता ज्या काही सूचना आपल्या सर्व संशोधकांना केलेल्या आहेत त्या निश्चितपणे विचारात घेऊन याही गोष्टीवरती आपल्याला भविष्यात काय करता येईल का याचा विचार हे महाविद्यालय निश्चितपणे करेल. वास्तविकता खरेढेरे भोसले महाविद्यालयाच्या असणाऱ्या आमच्या सर्व शिक्षक आणि शिक्षकेतर कर्मचारी यांनी खरं अविरत मेहनत घेऊन ही आजची कार्यशाळा ही यशस्वी केली. खरं एक प्राचार्य म्हणून मलाही त्यांचं कौतुक आणि निश्चितपणे त्यांच्याबद्दलचा अभिमान आहे. कारण हा विषय निवडण्यापासून ज्यांनी पर्यंत विषय गेला त्या लोकांनी मला सांगितले की हा विषय सर तुम्ही खूप सुंदर निवडलात आणि याच्यावरती चर्चा होणं ही अत्यंत गरजेची गोष्ट आहे. कारण ज्या आपल्या दृष्टिकोनातून महत्वाचे आहे त्या गोष्टीकडे दुर्लक्ष होतं आणि म्हणून एक मल्टी फॅकल्टीच्या माध्यमातून ही कार्यशाळा या महाविद्यालयाने आयोजित करायची ठरवली आणि ती खरं आज आपल्या सर्वांच्या उपस्थितीने ती संपन्न होते. वास्तविकता ह्या परिषदेचा ज्यावेळी विचार समोर आला त्यावेळी खरं सगळे प्रश्न आर्थिकतेशी निगडीत असतात आणि त्याच वेळी आमच्या एका केवळ शब्दावरती धावून आली ती म्हणजे आमची रत्नागिरी जिल्हा मध्यवर्ती बँक. आणि या रत्नागिरी जिल्हा मध्यवर्ती बँकेनं आम्हाला जवळपास या परिषदेसाठी 50,000चा अर्थसहाय्य देऊन उपकृत केलं, आम्हाला मोटिवेट केलं. त्या असणाऱ्या रत्नागिरी जिल्हा मध्यवर्ती बँकेचे सन्माननीय अध्यक्ष कृषी भूषण डॉक्टर तानाजीराव चोरगे सर, त्यांचे सर्व संचालक मंडळ यांचं खरं मनापासून आभार. आणि त्याचबरोबर आपण सर्वांनी यात सहभागी करून घेतलं. मी सकाळपासून या कार्यशाळेसाठी स्वतः मला त्याच्यातला इंटरेस्ट असल्यामुळे मी थांबलो. तर सगळ्यांनी अगदी मनापासून त्याच्यामध्ये सहभाग घेऊन जे पार्टिसिपेशन दाखवलं त्याबद्दल खरं आपल्यालाही सर्वांना मनपूर्वक धन्यवाद देतो. हे महाविद्यालय अशाच प्रकारचं यापुढे चांगल्या परिषदा, कार्यशाळा अशा आयोजित निश्चितपणे आपल्यासाठी करेल. आपण सर्वजण त्याला प्रतिसाद द्याल असा एक प्रभारी प्राचार्य म्हणून आशावाद आपल्या समोर व्यक्त करतो. त्याचबरोबर या कार्यशाळेमध्ये आम्ही 2 अवॉर्ड्स देणार आहे. त्यापैकी एक म्हणजे बेस्ट ओरल प्रेझेंटेशन अवॉर्ड, हे मात्र या महाविद्यालयाच्या वतीने आम्ही उद्या डिक्लेअर करणार आहोत. आणि दुसरं म्हणजे बेस्ट रिसर्च पेपर अवॉर्ड, असं दुसरं एक अवॉर्ड याच्यामध्ये देणार आहोत की जेणेकरून आमचे प्राध्यापक मित्र किंवा संशोधक यांना त्याच्यातून प्रेरणा मिळाव्यात, त्यांचा असणारा रिसर्च अधिक वृद्धिंगत व्हावा ही भूमिका ठेवून हे महाविद्यालय हे 2 अवॉर्ड उद्या आपल्याला या ग्रुपवरती नॅशनल कॉन्फरन्स ग्रुपवरती आपल्या नावं डिक्लेअर करेल आणि त्या दृष्टिकोनातून आपल्याला ते अवॉर्ड सन्मानपूर्वक देण्यात येईल. त्याचबरोबर आपण सर्वांनी असेच या पद्धतीनं जे सहकार्य केलं त्या सहकार्याबद्दल खरंच या प्राचार्य म्हणून आपल्या सर्वांचं पुनश्च एकदा आभार मानतो. आणि सर या ठिकाणी उपस्थित राहिले, माझ्या एका शब्दाला मान देऊ त्याबद्दल मी सरांचं खरं शतशः आमच्या सगळ्या खरेढेरे भोसले महाविद्यालय परिवाराच्या वतीनं त्यांना धन्यवाद देतो आणि या ठिकाणी थांबतो. जय हिंद.
धन्यवाद सर.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, in this valedictory function, on behalf of organizing committee, I show my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Dr. Atul Salunke, sir. Sir has lucidly presented his valedictory speech. He proclaims the visionary plan for becoming eco-friendly at all walks of life, to protect our Mother Earth, to preserve and sustain it, and hand over this Vasundhara to the next generation. I also thank our principal Dr. Anil V. Sawant sir for your motivating words and guidance at this valedictory speech. I also thank Dr. T.Y. Gurute and Dr. Reshmi Sudhakumar for your valuable feedback, and extend thanks to all participants for patient listening. Now, after this valedictory function, we are going further to vote of thanks. Now, actually, gratitude is the fairest blossoms which springs from the soul. Every celebration is an experience, and external actually fades away, and the internal lingers and echoes in the most depth of our hearts. We are reminded that events like this, and which is also a milestone on the journey of life and reminds of God's infinity all through. May I now request Mr. N.S. Bhalerao sir to offer vote of thanks. Over to Mr. N.S. Bhalerao sir.
Thank you, sir.
भालेराव सर एकच मिनिट.
May I audible, sir?
भालेराव सर,
Yes.
Yes.
फीडबॅक चालू असताना सर्वांना एक विनंती आहे. सगळ्यांनी एक 2-4 सेकंदासाठी आपले व्हिडिओ ऑन करा. आम्हाला एक स्क्रीनशॉट घ्यायचा आहे मेमरीसाठी. प्लीज जरा सगळ्यांनी व्हिडिओ ऑन करा. हा सर, कंटिन्यू करा तुम्ही.
Okay. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by our heart. I, Mr. Nilkantha Bhalerao, Head Department of Microbiology, Khare Dhere Bhosle College, Guhagar, feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion of one-day national e-conference whose theme is socio-economic and ecological impacts of the climate change with reference to Indian subcontinent. I would like to convey my special gratitude towards University of Mumbai for grant permission and support for organization of the national conference. I express my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Dr. Tanajirao Tsorge, the chairman, RDCC Bank, Ratnagiri, for his keen interest and kind support through sponsoring this national conference. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Ajanta Publishers, who provide peer-reviewed, referred, international multidisciplinary research journal, Ajanta, whose ISSN number is 22775730 with impact factor 6.399 for being publication assistance partner. I'm also thankful. We are grateful to have chief patron of today's national e-conference, Shri Mahesh Janardhan Bhosle, Chairman, Guhagar Education Society, for his encouragement and support to us. I am sincerely express my gratitude towards today's inauguration guest of honor, Honorable Dr. Sudhir Puranik Sir, the Registrar, University of Mumbai, Mumbai. I'm also thankful for today's keynote speaker, Dr. Priyadarshini Karve Ma'am, Samuchita Environment Technology, Pune, Maharashtra. I'm also very thankful to today's resource dignitaries, Dr. P.S. Kamre Sir, Professor and former Head Department of Economics, as well as currently working as a Director, UGC Center for Competitive Examination, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Maharashtra. I am very thankful to resource dignitaries, Dr. Dhruva Singh Sen, the Director, UGC HRDC, University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. I'm also very thankful to our today's resource dignitaries, Dr. Shivaji Chauhan Sir, Professor and Director, School of Life Sciences, Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded. I'm here also very thankful to Dr. Vishal Tomar Sir, Chairperson for the first plenary session, Dr. S.N. Patil Sir, Chairperson for the second plenary session, and Dr. R.S. Bhalerao Sir, Chairperson for the third plenary session. I'm very also thankful to valedictory chief guest, Honorable Dr. Atul Salve Sir, Principal C.D. Deshmukh College, Raigad, Maharashtra. I'm also express my sincere thanks towards the National Advisory Committee of today's e-conference for giving a very valuable guidance for successful organization of this conference. We have in a National Advisory Committee, Dr. Shambir Singh, Dehradun, Dr. G.L. Malviya, Vidisha, Dr. Pranay Divte, Jaipur, Dr. S.N. जगदाळे दापोली कॉलेज, डॉक्टर एस.एन. पाटील सर, जळगाव डॉक्टर एस.एन. गवळे चिपळूण, डॉक्टर सुभाष खोत शृंगारतळी गुहागर, डॉक्टर दीपक रावेळकर पोलादपूर, डॉक्टर ऋषिकेश सामंत मुंबई, डॉक्टर जी.बी. सारंग खेड, डॉक्टर गौतम गुप्ता पनवेल, डॉक्टर पी.वाय. बुरुटे सांगली, डॉक्टर अनिल के पाटील रायगड, डॉक्टर भारमल सावंतवाडी सिंधुदुर्ग, डॉक्टर दरगड Latur, Maharashtra, as a National Advisory Committee members. I'm very thankful to National Advisory Committee who constantly gives the guidance for the successful organization of this conference. An event of these dimensions cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated organizing committee. In organizing committee, our principal, Dr. Anil V. Sawant, continuously support the organization of this conference, as well as he has given the shape to the conference to make this conference a very successful event. So I am heartfelt thankful to Dr. Anil Sawant sir to become a backbone of this conference. I'm also thankful Dr. A.A. Kamble sir, convener for the this conference, Mr. Y.R. Patil sir, co-convener, Dr. R.B. Golekar sir, co-convener of this conference. I'm very also thankful and grateful to have Mr. G.B. Sanap, IQSC coordinator of our committee. He is constantly in touch with all the committees made for these conferences, like the review research paper committee, registration committee, technical committees, and constantly communicated with the principal sir, who is the chief organizer of these national conferences, constantly in touch with the convener of our national conferences, Dr. Kamble sir. So he has taken a lot of efforts to make this event a very successful. Mr. V.D. Mahajan sir, Mr. A.S. Hirgon sir, P.S. Sarpotdar sir, Dr. R.S. Salunke sir, also a very valuable members for the organizing committee. They are given a valuable contributors to conduct conference and making to successful event. My heartfelt thanks to the local organizing committee for continued support for these conferences. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. My heartfelt thanks to teaching, non-teaching, college office bearers, all staff members who have worked hard to ensure that these workshops become successful without any interpretations. I thank all the distinguished invitees, participants, research scholars present here from all over the colleges of all states of India for belief in our national level conference and present and published research work with us. Especially, I am very thankful Dr. Devi Ghosh, C.G. Hema Malini, Gnaneshwar Vail, Dr. Prakash Burutes, Dr. Karuna Shankar, Dr. Monica Kutia, Anjali Rathod, Reshmi Sudha Kumar, who has brilliantly present their research work in our conference. I am also very thankful to all those good hearts who work behind the screen to make a conference a grand success. If time is a money, then today you have spent millions for us. Thanks to all of you for making this event a successful. Finally, I leave you this quote by Mahatma Gandhi ji, that earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much. Over to Rameshwar Solanke sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, hereby announce that on behalf of the college that the e-conference is successfully completed. Thank you very much, one and all.